Hello, I'm Patricia Gloum, a filmmaker and co-founder of Browhouse, a Web3 creative studio, and an agency representing digital artists in the Web3 space. I am so happy that the NFTs exist because it's finally a validator for digital art to exist. So people can collect value, bring value in it, and as well to be able to expose it within their house. Definitely it's a technology that has changed the life for this artistic movement to live and exist. Generative art for me is anything that is made with code. So this idea that you can actually create strokes of paintings with an algorithmic, it's something very fascinating in the digital art realm. Regenerative as well is for me when you create different shapes and you can create infinite amounts of shapes within the same ones. Before the NFT industry, we were trying to make people understand that digital art is a valuable artistic movement. We were selling USB keys and contracts, written contracts with the artists for people to collect videos. But it definitely didn't work out. It was still fine because we really believed in it. We believed that digital art is the future of art. And my background is in filmmaking. So before that, digital art was already part of videos. And in my videos, to create a different alternative realities. That was thanks to digital art that I was able to create that. I would like to talk about two types of projects. One, as a filmmaker, my favorite latest project is Forging Chaos that won a laureate in Sitges in Barcelona this past month, and as well it won a Vimeo staff pick, that was definitely a goal of mine. Why it was one of my favorite projects is because we were creating with a lot of artistic friends. So it's a passion project. We sat down, we wrote the idea with the dancer, with some of the people from the team that was built in order to create it. And then the weekend we went and filmed it, and after the post-production. So it's one of my favorites because we were able to tell a real story, be experimental with it, not have the constraint of a client around it, and truly express the idea that we wanted to express, which was to talk a little bit about how you reconstruct families and how when you can come up in a complicated upbringing, you can always recreate your own values in life. We were able as well to collaborate with the digital artist, Jonas Ersland, so it was super cool to be able to film something physical as well as to implement digital art in it. That's definitely one of my favorite little projects. Yeah. And then another project that I'm super proud of, and we're finally voicing... Hey, goodbye. We're finally voicing a voice for the digital artists, was the last exposition we did at the UNESCO World Heritage Monument in Erbil, Iraq. We were able to project 10 of our artists on the murals, and it was so insane to see the grandiose effect that was looking like. Like, imagine a huge monument with projection in all the walls and seeing one of your favorite artwork pieces being played in it. Definitely made an impact. Especially that you can, thanks to those big buildings and those impact, you can inspire other people's lives, and you can as well uplift different neighborhoods. Like Erbil, for example, is a city that doesn't have so many resources in terms of art. People are a lot in their own lives, so it's good that thanks to those things we're able to touch a lot of different people. So that's definitely something that I'm excited for and want to keep doing with Browhouse. How I choose digital art when I buy it, it's mainly to see I can be a bit superficial in a way, because I'm just first going to look at the image and then see what I feel with it. And then I'm going to go dig a little bit more as to like, oh, wow, how did he did this texture or this effect? And it's interactive. I can move it and do this with it. And so then I add a level of complexity after the visual part. And then on the third layer, when I'm very interested, I go and look who this person is, their Twitter, their Instagram, a bit of research on the internet. That's how I buy the art. Something I would love to explore, and it's fascinating to me, is to bring a physical movement into a digitalization of the movement. So you know how a lot of things are like now becoming digital art or digital, and let's bring it to something physical. I want to do that on the second step, but first bring what's physical. And I'd love to experiment with the body and movements and facetical expressions taken with some duds. I don't know how you say that, like tracking suits, yeah, that would digitalize, and then from that you create different shapes. So I don't want to I don't want to disconnect so much from the human shape, because sometimes, you know, when you go to digital, the only thing you do is like you have the computer and then you're like this. So this is a way for me, since I love so much the digital world, to bring the humankind, the human part into the digital, create shapes and experiment with it, and then bring that back into the physical. So that's definitely something I want to explore more. Like, I don't know, I would imagine maybe even like a set, imagine a big room with 15 people interacting, everyone wearing the tracksuit, having a different, it can be a dance movement, it can be conversation, it can be a fight, and then just bring all that data into one artwork, one piece online. So that's what I would love to experiment one day. I hope I can do. The next step is to become for Brauhaus to become a digital art reference. We showcase so many emergent digital artists that are unknown, are amazing, and how, thanks to a company like Brauhaus, we can give them a voice and give this physical space that they need in order to be showcased. So that's, you know, it would, if we can like do something like Palais de Tokyo, Grand Palais, MoMA, any big institution that would want to see that and then create with us a big installation and immersion, that would be the next step. I'm a curious person. I'm very curious, and when something fascinates me, I'm easily fascinated by things, anything around me every day, that then I want to understand them and apply them into my everyday life, into the work, into the environment that's around me. So dance and music, I mean, music, it's something so powerful because it makes me feel a lot of feelings very fast just by hearing some sounds, and actually, you know, it can really trigger things in me that I like a lot. So I try to push all these sensations and these inspirations and hobbies into bringing that to my job every day. So then I feel that everything I do has a meaning, that it has a purpose, and I'm not just doing things just to like do it or just because it's like for money. It's because actually there is something that triggers me inside of me that makes me feel more complete as a human being. I think it's for those people, I mean, for the artists that are always behind the screen creating, or in their room creating, in order to be in front of the stage, to talk about you, talk about your art, looking at a lot of bunch of people, it's such a tough thing to do, because a lot of time when you create, you need to be in in your cave, in your own bubble, and being exposed, it's emotionally triggering, especially that it can be hard to talk about yourself, and it can feel easily egocentrical and narcissistic. So all these feelings for the artists can bring into the stage, and then they have to fight that in order to actually express why they have done their art, why they are here doing, the things that they like to do. So there's this barrier that exists, and I think that it's a tough challenge, but it's needed to be happening, I think, because one, that's how we're going to understand the world of the artist even more. That's how we're going to understand him, her more. And as well, because otherwise, if we don't do that, we might create slowly, more of a disconnection between the screen and the real person. So it's actually good to bring those two things back together. It's like, hey, this is real, this has been done because this person in front of us, and they're here to share that. But the artists need to be accompanied. They can't just be thrown in the stage like, okay, now you talk, you say your art, because that's too hard for them. Like, it's almost like you might need like a psychologist or something to train them a little bit before, so they feel comfortable, and then they work those barriers out to come out of their comfort zone, come out of their cave, in order to be able to share with them, with the public, the amazing artwork and amazing mind that they have. I'm so grateful to have met you all. I think NFT in Europe is such an inspiring place. Like, I've been meeting very nice people that are so kind, that are so creative, and this is very professional. NFT, I see so much potential and future in it. We need those organizations to be happening, so we put all these creative and non-creative people together, so everyone can learn about each other and keep inspiring. So I'm so grateful for NFT in to exist, and thank you so much, Cook, for having me around.